Candice Owens was on the Breakfast Club talking to Charlemagne, Envy. Y'all know, on the Breakfast Club. She do the same stuff pretty much. Spit that knowledge, or just spit her thoughts. I ain't gonna say it's knowledge. It might not be knowledge. Spit her thoughts, political wise. Things that's going on in the political field of things. And she do some dating stuff too. Cause she pretty much just talk her opinions on facts that she feel important. On things she feels that's important. Not facts. Cause this is basically her opinion, y'all. It is her opinion. So, yeah, she was on the Breakfast Club dealing with Charlemagne. They had some good conversation. I think they had some good conversation. And she said some real cool stuff. So we gonna tap in with Candice Owens in the Breakfast Club.
Or have somebody that's at least telling you what they think about you in no uncertain terms. So, I like Trump for a ton of reasons. And for me, it was always about the economic argument. And I knew that he was going to be a better candidate for Black Americans because of that, especially, build the wall sounded so wild, right? Back in 2016, it sounded wild. It sounded xenophobic. And I was saying, if these illegals get into the inner city communities, the first people that are going to be harmed are going to be Black Americans.
People actually were mad at you, right? When you got into the...
All right, y'all. She hit a good point right there. Economic arguments for Trump. And then she went straight into the build the wall subject. With this immigration thing, y'all, I think I had a pretty good conversation just yesterday, about the whole immigration thing, y'all, and how the build the wall thing is crazy. It's crazy. Knowing that the people who are going to struggle the most is definitely going to be Black people when it comes to money being taken out of our pockets. The giveaways, because they give away a lot of money being taken out of the pocket of Black people for immigration. They basically going to take it from Black people and they're going to give it to the illegal immigrants, especially in the inner city. Like, you see that happening in Chicago and New York, and the Black people there are like, yo, what's going on? They don't care about us anyway. But the thing about that build the wall thing that's so funny is really both sides are profiting from illegal immigration. Because if you think about it, the Democrats, they trying to get a new voting pool. They're going to get them a new voting pool, and they're going to give out a whole bunch of handouts. And the Republicans getting cheap labor. So it's like, it's low-key like a win-win for them. Everybody kind of, not everybody, both parties is getting a little something from it, in my opinion. Like, think about it, y'all. Didn't the Tyson factory fire a whole bunch of Tyson chicken? They fired a whole bunch of their workers and said, we about to get these illegal immigrants up in here. They gonna work in this chicken factory clean for cheap. They about to be in here working for cheap. So how much is it really affecting them? They getting cheap labor. Y'all know Black folks don't want to work. Black folks definitely don't want to work. The young ones that I know, some of them seem like they a little lazy. They work ethic ain't all the way up yet. That's something that we definitely gotta fix. But yeah, they definitely trying to replace us. People are either gonna be replaced by illegal immigrants for cheap labor or AI. So I mean, we can build the wall all day. It's still gonna get replaced. But the people who are definitely going to suffer the most is the people who get them handouts already. Here, you taking this handout. Well, we're not giving you no more handouts. We need other folks. We about to get this new voting pool over here, so peace to y'all.
The conversation with T.I. at the Revolt Music Conference, right? And you were saying that and people didn't understand it. But it seems like people are understanding what you were trying to say back then.
Yeah, and I am so happy to have those moments because, like, I think T.I. is a trash person. You know, I'll say that 1,000 times over because, first and foremost, I had spoken to T.I. prior to that event. Like, T.I. was the only person on stage that I actually knew. And for the same reasons that I met you. Kanye had put us in touch. We had talked. And I know that T.I. thinks more conservatively. So he was literally putting on a show. And so it just makes me wonder, especially with all the stuff that, like, came out in the Diddy lawsuit, like, who's controlling T.I.? Because that was wild. He was literally putting on a show like he didn't know me on stage. Like, he was surprised I was saying the stuff. He was way more level-headed and rational when we were on the phone. And I still look back on the moment. I'm like, what was he doing? It was like a circus act up there. And he was doing something that I thought was harmful because we were actually having a great discussion. And yet he created a little moment, and that was all the media ran with, despite the fact we were on that stage for hours. They ran with that moment, and I was really upset about it. But you're right. I was talking a lot about illegal immigration and saying this is something that we need to pay attention to because eventually the black vote's not going to matter. Something that they worked so hard for is not going to matter. They get enough illegals in. What are we at? 10 million under Biden? And they're doing it intentionally. Like, it's going to be the same thing that they did to black Americans in the 60s. What Lyndon Baines Johnson did when he established welfarism and the Great Society Act. They want to get these people in, offer them handouts, and turn them into economic slaves that will continue to vote for Democrats because they're getting free handouts. And it's incredibly racist, first and foremost, but because black Americans are still, a lot of black Americans, I should say, are still living under this deception that Lyndon Baines Johnson was a good president, even though he was an avowed racist. I mean, he hated black people. I mean, one of the, so many times, I mean, hard R referring to us as the N-word. I'll have those N-words voting Democrat for the next 200 years. And this man is being hailed as a hero because he had to sign the Civil Rights Act, essentially with a figurative gun to his head because the country was on fire. You know, JFK had just died, and there were riots in the streets protesting because of racism. And he did not want to sign it, but he did. And with the other hand, he signed the Great Society Act and incentivized welfarism and, you know, programs to incentivize not marrying black men. You know, to think that we had government agents knocking on the door, going into the homes of black women and being like, there better not be a man that lives here. We're just here to check to make sure. If you want this check, dad can't be home. Every other ill that black America is facing today is because we've removed fathers from the home. So I'm like a big, you know, I use my platform to talk about men a lot and the need for male leadership, everything that is so harmful, this, you know, Me Too, false feminism, all of this crap. It's anti-man, and it's anti-man for a reason because a society cannot survive without strong men. A household cannot survive without strong men. We need strong men to lead homes. And so the fracturing of the black family, I think, was the test. Like, you know, like we were the mice in the experiment. Like, let's see how that goes. And now they're kind of doing that writ large. And I hate feminism so much. I can't even tell you because what it's about is it's just an attack on men.
Oh, you just said a lot, Candice.
She did just say a lot. She did just say a lot. I'm going to start with this, though. Do y'all think it's true that black people vote Democrat just for the handouts? Do y'all think it is true that black people vote Democrat specifically for the handouts? In my personal experience, yes. I know that's exactly why I voted for them. They were supposed to give me a handout for my student loan debt, and they didn't. To this day, I'm pissed. And now I'm going to have to get out the mud and go get it myself. I'm not upset that I have to get it out the mud and get it myself. That's what I'm doing. Y'all feel me? I switched up my approach. Them handouts don't work. And voting for them is some bull. Voting for all these handouts that I might not even get. So I need to vote for somebody who's going to help me get it out the mud. You need to help me get it out the mud. Not give me the money, just give me the money. You need to help me get out the mud. That's what I'm asking for. What you gonna do to help black people succeed? Like get somewhere. That's what I'm voting for now on. Because she not lying though. I don't think she lying. A lot of things she says, it definitely seemed true. That it just from, hey, we about to get these folks on this, you know, we gonna give them handouts. You get this money as long as a black man is not at home. And then next thing you know, the black family structure is definitely out of whack. we definitely out of whack. The amount of single moms I know is crazy. I still know a lot of people who are married and they doing their thing, they together with kids, but I think the amount of fatherless homes is crazy out here. It is. It is crazy. And black males, I don't think we just the worst dads. I think both my dads, I got like 3 dads, y'all. I got like 3 dads. They solid in my life and they solid in their kids' lives. I appreciate every single one of them. But I know for sure, like, you get money if the male's not home. Was it not a movie one time I seen something like that happen? They definitely ran down and was like, "Where's the male at in here?" That was probably some movie, but that's besides the point. I think she hit it straight on the head. We going from giving the black people the handouts, we gonna give it to the immigrants now. And create a whole new voting pool for them. We gonna give them handouts. We gonna do it like that. And I'm gonna tell y'all, the crazy part is, y'all, I don't even think that immigrants care about handouts. The ones that's coming in, y'all know they Hispanic. They work hard. They work hard anyway. I'm telling you, they get to it. Construction sites. I had some folks doing construction the other day on my neighbor's house. They was Hispanic. Came in, that house looked brand new. It was less than a week. I said, "Godly, they is working hard over there." So I personally think it might backfire on the handout wise, but what can we say about it, y'all? What really are we gonna do? Unless we come together, get some voting power, that might could do something. But really, are we gonna go stand at Texas on that line and stop them from coming in? I'ma just say, get our money up so we not dependent on the government. That's what we need to do. Get our money up so we not dependent on the government. That's what my plan is to do. So I think y'all should come on and get on that train. Get our money up so we don't got to deal with no more handouts from the government.
So let's talk about some of these things. Now, you said it now with the politicians, right? Whether it's Lyndon B. Johnson, Trump, Biden, I think people are able to ignore a lot of their BS as long as they can get something done.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like. So that's why I don't even like to talk about the person. I like to talk about the policy. So what is the difference between traditional conservatives and MAGA?
Well, I would say between traditional conservatives and MAGA.
Yeah, like before what the Conservative Party was before MAGA and what it is now.
Yeah, so I think what you're describing is that there was this fracture in the conservative movement because people realized that when he was referring to the swamp, what he meant was it didn't actually matter if you were on the left or the right. They were all working together in D.C. and selling out all of America. I mean, there is no reason why you go to D.C. and become a multimillionaire. You're supposed to be there to serve the American people. You're there taking our tax dollars. So what was happening was these lobbying interests, like, Big Pharma goes down and they lobby and they'll offer money to a candidate to go push a drug, like the COVID vaccine. Or they'll lobby for war. It's like, biggest lobby, of course, military industrial complex. So we're all suffering. You're going to work because these lobbyists are getting their incentives done by buying out these politicians. And so Trump kind of hit the scene as somebody who wasn't bought and paid for because he didn't need their money. He wasn't like a random congressman going to D.C. with no money. And he just started talking about the swamp. Like, it's not even Republican or Democrat. And I want people to wake up to that because I'm not here like ride or die for Republicans. They all sell us out. Like, the stuff that they did during COVID is criminal. It's criminal. And
expound on that.
I mean, the free handouts. First off, trillions of dollars. You're signing these omnibus bills. If you read into it, where that money is going, it's insane. It's literally going, to museums, boards of museums. They're quite literally money laundering is what's happening when they sign these bills. But they keep it so that the information level is so low for Americans that it's like, oh, COVID's so bad. Like, we're going to give you a check that's like, $300. This basically describes welfarism, right? Like, despite the fact that there's been trillions of dollars since the establishment of welfare, Black Americans are poorer today than we were before it. People don't know this, but during the time of Jim Crow, before welfare was established in the 1950s, Black Americans were actually outpacing white Americans in this country in terms of economic growth. And the reason for that was because our families were together. Like, we had good values. The government only wants to give you the bare minimum. But where's the rest of the money? Where is it going? They sign these bills making you think that this money is going to you. It's not. They are stealing from the American people. And you look at your congressman, whoever it is that you guys sent down to DC, and you realize that they're all just puppets. I feel like we're watching a performance, and who can say the most outrageous thing. The Republicans don't want to sign this because they want, slavery and they want you back in change. The Democrats don't want to sign this because they want grandma to die. Whatever it is, you're watching just, to me, it's a play.
That's why I don't think, that's why I think if you're Black, you should.
Y'all, she is not lying when she says it is a play. It is a play. I will tell y'all, in Europe, they look at American politics as entertainment, purely entertainment. It never changes. Every time I've been there, someone has come up to me. This telling y'all, multiple people have come up to me. The only thing they want to talk about is American politics. As soon as you're American? Bro, we have to talk. We have to talk about this. How do you feel about Trump? I'm like, bro, are y'all great? Like, y'all only have two parties, right? Yeah, this side goes for this and that side goes for that. And how do you feel about Trump? I'm like, what in the... Trump not even our president no more. Yeah, man, it's crazy. Yeah, why do y'all care so much? It's because America leads, and it's a play that is crazy. It's all a play that everyone else, a lot of people around the world think that it's entertainment. Pure entertainment. She's not lying about that. That's how people see it. The outrageous lines, all that. It's entertaining. It's going to keep you locked in. It keeps people around the world locked in. Europe for sure. In Europe for sure. They are locked in. I'm telling y'all, every time I go, I've been to multiple cities. Every city I'm in, if I'm talking to someone random, they're going to start getting into politics. In America, it's like, don't talk about politics. They talk about it openly, like, hey, just talk. I'm having a good time, listening to music at the bar. Hey, bro, I seen you over here, and this might not be a good time, but I wanted to come over here and ask you about American politics. I'm like, okay, like, what you want from me? How do you feel about Trump? Bro, he's not our president right now. That's literally what I tell him. Like, he's not our president right now. What more do you want from this? Like, he's not our president right now. But that's literally what they say. This side, they say this. That side, they say this. Where it's like, come on. And she did hit a point. I do feel like they stealing from me. I'm going to tell y'all, during COVID, those stimulus, I had my head on. That went for paying for my college. So I was good. I'm good. They gave me a handout. I'm happy. Like I said, I paid my way through college on that part. So I'm not in student debt. 1 year I'm not getting in student debt. I get out. Okay. They about to forget these student loans. Let me vote for this handout. Where did the money go to pay for my student loan debt? Where did the money go to pay for my student loan debt? And I know exactly what Charlamagne about to say after this, because that's how we all feel. This is where I've gotten to myself. We shouldn't be strictly Democratic or Republican. Who's going to help us get to the next level? Not give us handouts. We don't need the handout. Who's going to help us economically get to the next level? We don't want the yeah, okay, y'all we're just gonna give you this $300 every month as long as you're below this line. As long as you're below this income, we're gonna just, give you money to help you out. It's not working. That does not work. I know a lot of people when they got that stimulus check, they was getting that money, didn't do anything with it. Did not do anything with it. Money was gone. We need some help. Not help as in give outs. We need help economically to get to the next level. That's what we need.
Shouldn't be beholden to any political party, Democrat or Republican.
Right. I mean, I think that any concept of saying that I am a Republican forever or a Democrat forever is a nonsense. You should always look at the candidates that are running, and any person that is running saying that they want to grow government is your enemy.
Why do you think people give you a lot of backlash for questioning people and having questions? I see all the time with Charlemagne, if we question something that Kamala Harris did, or question something that Joe Biden did, or question somebody that's Democrat did, why do you think our people have so much backlash when you ask so many questions?
Well, because I think that they don't realize that they've been manipulated against their own interests. And a lot of it is, when you start telling the truth, you become a problem to the establishment, right? So if you're the military industrial complex and you want people to just kind of sleepwalk into another war, and I'm sitting here telling you that, Pentagon just can't keep finding the trillions of dollars that they send overseas. They've got this budget and they're sending all this money to Ukraine, and then they say, oh, we don't know where all the money went. It's being laundered and it's being sent back to a very small group of powerful people. And so when you have someone like me who's cutting through all of the emotional arguments, you have to turn that person into persona non grata, right? And what better way to do it than to have their own community attacking them and saying that they're, pro-white or anti-black. I mean, it's a nonsense things that they say about me. If you listen to what I'm actually saying, I'm sitting here providing a blueprint for Black Americans to get ahead because it's time, okay? It's time. We've been doing this for a very long time in this country. Black America, wake up, okay? They don't like you. They don't like us, okay? There's
so
not
anti-
America has
government.
America.
Yeah, like the government, the American government. Why would you think the American government wants to help you? Well, at what point in history has that proven to be right? And I'll challenge that and I'll make it wider to all Americans. When has it ever been the circumstance that you felt that the government really just was out for your own best interests? Think of them as a corporation. They want to grow themselves. They want new departments, bigger departments, larger budgets like any other corporation would want. And they never want to leave DC because we don't have term limits, which we should have, right? If we had term limits and said you can only serve for 4 years, well, then guess what they would be doing for those 4 years? Trying to shrink government because they'd have to come back out and be us, right? Mm-hmm. When you look at the way that your tax dollars are being spent, you should be outraged. You should be angry, but stop thinking that the enemy is, they constantly have us arguing against each other, women versus men, black versus white, It's a nonsense. The reason why they want us constantly warring is because it distracts from all of us coming together and taking a look at who the real criminals are. And the real criminals are this small group, this small cadre of powerful people that I think we're virtually all still on a plantation. They just made it look nice. You got a nice chair. We got nice chairs here. But I think we're all still on a plantation.
Shut up. It's for the baby shower. So is this the reason why I haven't really heard you pushing?
Wake up, Black America. That's what she got to say to y'all. Wake up, Black America. Wake up, America. The government is not for us. That's what she had to say, y'all. Do not twist my words. The government is not for us. I mean, we can feel that way. I feel that way. I think some of the things that they've done, just from me doing my research, horrible for Black people. Horrible for Americans, period. It's a way to keep the poor poor and the rich getting richer. Definitely. And the way they spending these tax dollars, like I said, it didn't come to me, not one bit, not one drop after COVID has come to Steve. Not one little drop has come to Steve. Personally. So I ain't getting no handouts. They gonna say because you ain't getting no handouts, you ain't voting Democrat no more. Yeah. They giving handouts to everybody else. I need to get my handout too. Either you give me the handout or I need to get it from the mud. And I'm actually choosing to get it from the mud now, y'all. I'm choosing to get it from the mud now. instead of just complain about my student debt not being paid off by the government. Instead, that money went to Ukraine and Israel for protecting them. Some of it went to the illegal immigrants coming in. You know, got to make sure they're okay. This is just from what I'm seeing. Those are the main two. Those are the main two that I feel like my money has my tax dollars have gone to war and immigration. Pretty much. So my pockets aren't doing too much better government wise as it goes. That's why I'm trying to figure out this tax thing. I'm gonna get me a business. That way I can be like Trump one day. You paid $0 in taxes. Well, that makes me smart. Wake up, Black Americans. We are done with the handouts. We don't want any more handouts, y'all. As a collective, we gonna get it out the mud. We need to get it out the mud and continue to grow instead of sitting where we've been at for these last years. You know, Democrats, they didn't have to do anything for us to get our vote. We was automatically Democrat. The reason I know this is because, like I said, I'm only 25, y'all, which means I've only been able to vote, twice? I really only voted twice, yeah, because I don't think I voted in 16. It was, I don't even know nothing. I did vote in 16. I did. Yeah, I really only voted twice. There we go. I've only voted twice for president, at least for the president. And both times it was just literally because this is what we are. Black people are Democrat. That's why you voting Democrat. The older you get, the more you learn, y'all. The older you get, the more you learn. And we just gonna keep reaching for that. So, Black America, wake up. It's time to really vote for change. It's time to vote for change. And who's gonna help us get to that next economic point? If you still with me, make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Let me know how y'all feel. 6 a.m. crew, if you still here, make sure you leave a comment. Yes, sir. Good morning to my brethren. I'm telling you. Got my boy in here. He said his grandfather was an immigrant and he couldn't spell handout. I'm telling you, they work hard. They don't even want that handout, my boy. And Candice was spitting. She definitely was spitting. My boy in here said I'm telling y'all, them immigrants, they work hard. They don't even want the handouts. But they definitely here to take jobs. And that's what they gonna do. For both sides. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, leave a comment. Follow my other channel, Hartfelt Conversations.